I'm sorry, but this is still the best video on the internet right now.
I used to stay at my granny's house. She was one of my favorite people in the entire world.
Jasmine! The people of Dallas deserve better than a fake ghetto hood rat. Do they know you're a rich kid from Missouri? Do they know you're a spoiled rich kid from Missouri?
Want to really see something that said, take a look at what happened.
Hey. Why this beat so cold?
We will make America proud again. And you try to we will make America wealthy again. And yes, together, we will make America great again.
Oh hell, the funky ghetto. Funky ghetto. Ma'am, your eyelash is on the floor. John, please tap her and tell her. Can y'all please tap her and tell her eyelash was on the floor? I'm just trying to be a great person and let her know. I don't want her to walk around missing one of the eyelashes. And tell her what that money they got down there. She ought to be able to afford some good quality glue. Yeah, it's right there. Yeah, it dropped underneath the desk right there by the chair. Can you please tell her to pick up her eyelash? This is good. Miss Crocket, Democrats. It just gets worse and worse and worse for Democrats, the Democrat Party. And she down there speaking about crime, gerrymandering, Republicans, you know, the same crap. You know, this is a lady that says, hey, y'all, I'm a black woman. We might not haven't achieved anything, have got nothing done. I get on talk about race, white supremacy, and Trump, gaslighting and fearmongering. But I just want you to know at the end of the day that I am a black woman. And she once again gets destroyed, humiliated, fact checked. You know, here we go once again, y'all. You just can't make this up. Let's go and jump in. It's not going to be a long one. We're not going to waste too much time on this heifer here on the show. But let's go and expose it for what it is. Let's jump in, family.
Colleagues want to talk about being tough on crime and keeping criminals off the streets. And so we've talked about, let's talk about what is criminal. We've got members of Congress elected in other states, other cities, trying to subvert democracy and the will of the people of D.C. by dictating that the city
democracy
act in a way the Republicans want because they think they know what's best. Republicans want to subvert the people's power, and it's not just for D.C., it's all over. We see this in states like Texas and North Carolina with gerrymandering. In fact, we still have members here. Pass
me a big thing of that Jerry Jam. I need some of that Jerry Jam. Let's put the map up on the wall. Let's all take a good look at the map. Well, look at that.
Who still think that Trump won in 2020. Republicans want to talk about crime and violence, but they don't want.
Say it again.
Not just for D.C., it's all over. We see this in states like Texas and North Carolina with gerrymandering. In fact, we still have members here who still think that Trump won in 2020.
Yep. Oh, yep. Hell yeah, we do. They say, Rick, please don't start this again. Yeah, I got this. Y'all know I got to say something. The man won 3 elections. Yeah, they had Rick's grandma on the ballot. Grandma been dead for about 10, 15 years. Rest in peace to grandma. But I don't know how they got your name on the ballot, grandma. They said you still alive down there, walking down there in Mississippi. Rest in peace to grandma. Rest in peace. She was an amazing, beautiful lady, you know, but they say she's still alive. Then mailed it smooth on in, didn't they? Yeah, buddy. Legals voting, ghost voters, the dog got his name on the ballot. Everybody got their name on the ballot. I tell you. Russia. Throw the laptop out in the middle of the street. This is good.
Republicans want to talk about crime and violence, but they don't want to admit their role in this crisis. The fact is that they still allow assault weapons in the hands of radical right extremists, which have forced families visiting a mall in my state of Texas to leave a mall with nothing more than trauma, hurt, and despair as a neo-Nazi terrorized them.
Neo-Nazi.
And yet, what did they have in their hand? Another AR-15. But we don't want to have a conversation about that. So we're talking about D.C. right now.
I almost said something, but you know what? I'm gonna just, because I don't want to spend too much time on this lady here, man. She's a disgrace.
But the murder rates in red states like Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama have statistically exceeded those in blue states like Illinois, New Mexico, and Michigan.
She lying. She man, who released that? Well, where's she getting that? I want to know the source. Just tell us the source. If she tell us what source she got that from, it'll expose it all. Yeah, just tell us the source, ma'am. Because they down there in Chicago pleading that Trump, even people in the black community, they saying Trump, please. I showed y'all videos. Please send the National Guard down here to Chicago and walk out this mayor and governor who that doesn't have an approval rating over 10%. Both of them combined. Afro Mohawk Daddy, who only he says he only loves black people and hires black people than the illegals. He only cares so much for illegals. We wish y'all cared about actual Americans. Man, they ought to walk both of them out. This heifer on here lying. I can't stand this lying heifer right here, man.
Every year since 2000.
I'm going to turn the focus a little bit over.
All right.
To
Let's
the
do it, okay? Let's do it.
But I look back to all the lessons that my mom taught me was for every action, there's a reaction. And if you do an action and that's a bad action, you got to pay the consequences, Lisa. So you can make your own decisions, but when your decisions or when your actions hurt someone else, then you have to pay the consequences. And there are some things mom can help you with and some things but she can't. But you have to be responsible and more importantly, accountable for your actions. And I hear her on my shoulder chirping in my ear constantly. So I think mom's done her job. But let me just start. In May, as of May 9th of this year, total crime, I know you've heard the stats, but I think they bear repeating. Total crime up 27% in DC from the same time last year. Motor vehicle theft up 110%. Homicides up 12%. Sexual abuse is up 53%. And property crime is up 30%. That's not a good position for the law-abiding citizens to be in.
Yeah.
And I think we need to really take a good long look at why. And I think it goes back, and I hear my mom in my back, on my shoulder, consequence to the action. What is the consequence to your action? Because if my curfew was at 10 o'clock and I came home at 10:05, there was a consequence to my action. And sometimes it was a little harsher than I thought, but I responded to that consequence. And the next time I came home at 9:50, I wasn't late. But despite a sharp increase in crime, the U.S. Attorney's Office for the District of Columbia declined to prosecute 67% of individuals arrested in D.C. in 2022. 67% of the people that committed an action didn't have a consequence to their action. I wonder what behavior that led to. I wonder if anyone can connect those dots. According to Police Chief Robert Conti, the average homicide suspect had been arrested 11 times prior to them committing the homicide. I wonder if we would have had a consequence to that action a little bit sooner if we would have had the same result. Right? My mom has zero time in law enforcement, but I think her concepts really make sense.
And as you know, Democrats, like this lady here, they don't believe in no consequence. They believe to just come on in, slap on the wrist. Yeah. No common sense. And it just gets worse and worse and worse for the Democrat Party. But as you know, we actually have a president. We actually know who's running the country. Law and order is back. And the Run to Find Out movement is in full effect. And we're going to make an example out your butt. Yeah. Yeah, some new sheriffs in town and they not around. Yeah, buddy. And people approve and love what President Trump is doing. I tell you, see them people down there in D.C. making them TikToks, them videos on Facebook? They thanking President Trump. They say, this is good, Miss Crocket. But hey, man, I love y'all. Y'all let me know what y'all think. God bless y'all, your family. And I'll catch y'all in the next one. Peace and love, you guys.